to the reel initially because I was wearing the sweatshirt, and then immediately had view suppression. So
Oh, okay.
after, I know in the first, if I get 1,000 views in the first hour, that it's going to be a 15 to 20,000 view reel. If I
Yeah.
get 10,000 in the first hour, then it
Yeah.
probably will go viral.
Let's definitely talk about
Interesting.
view suppression and analytics a little bit because you recently had that whole reel that you put out on Instagram talking about how Instagram did you dirty. Can you elaborate
Spotify
on
did
that?
me dirty.
Sorry,
Spotify, yeah.
Spotify.
Yeah,
My
but they're
bad.
all dirty motherfuckers.
Sorry, Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
Listen, so I've been sending some shit around to people, and law firms included, because I think that, would any of you disagree that that likes and engagement is considered currency?
Yeah, I would totally.
Yeah,
I would
absolutely.
Totally agree. Yeah.
Why is it considered currency? Do you
Because that means people are paying attention to the thing you make, even if you don't have endorsements.
It's
not
viewership.
flashy.
Viewership that's what any major television show, any major outlet, the NBA, like that's
Exactly.
that's
Right.
how they
And it's
that's how they
quality viewership.
build value.
Right.
Yeah, it has
How many
yeah.
eyes are seeing
So
something?
there are calculators online where I can punch in my Instagram handle and it will give me a value for my reel, for my post, for my story. It will be like
wow.
a reel for me is anywhere between $1,500 to $3,000. At this, whatever day to day it changes based on my engagement. It pulls
wow.
that right out.
So they have literally like websites where you can calculate
Yeah.
how much value your
Which
account
sounds a
has.
lot like a stock, right?
Yeah.
How we
Yeah.
value stocks. So now, if it's it's a currency, I
Yeah.
make my money based on my metrics,
Yeah.
right? So if it's a currency, should it not be regulated as such? Because right now I have 3 different, say, apps that I'm working with, and each one of them, one likes to suppress views. I just had a reel got 1.6 million views. It was a podcast clip.
Congrats.
Thanks. I lost 2,000 followers.
Yeah.
And I know that
What?
podcast clip has nothing to do with hip hop, because in the clip I'm talking about buttholes and butthole
Yeah.
situations with men and shit in their buttholes. It has nothing to do with hip hop. They don't even know who the fuck I am. 1.6 million views. That's not my audience.
all the DL gays, just fucking dipped.
How did I?
2,000 DLs
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. What's it?
download, like guys,
Download
that are,
gays.
guys that
Okay.
are on the down low.
Deal.
I
They're like, oh shit, now we can't follow her anymore.
yeah, right.
But for real
talking
though,
about butt
like
stuff?
why
Oh,
why did I lose 2,000 followers? And then I saw this post by Jamila, I forgot her last name. And
Jamel Hill?
maybe
Oh, no.
she's
She's
way
sports
famous.
analyst?
No, she's a way famous.
okay. I might be getting it
podcaster.
wrong, but go on.
So
think it is
she
Jamel.
has millions of followers, and she was like, I have lost 100,000 followers in the past 2 months, and I've been posting 10 times a day. I don't understand what's going on. And then all these people, all her fans came in and were like, actually, I just checked and I was following you and now I'm not. Instagram unfollowed me from you.
Yeah.
So they're actually going through and culling
Yes.
your followers. Now, you're taking away my pennies from me.
Yep.
Each one of those is a penny. Each one of those is a metric. That's a currency, and you're not telling me about it.
Yeah.
And what Spotify did was remove all of my streams on one of my songs and claim that I had hired a bot and I paid for a legal playlist placement. That's not true. I have super fans that are very excited about my music that put it on repeat.
Oh, that's you this time.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
that
so-
put it on repeat. And one person streamed my song 9,000 times.
Yeah.
So I can
Whoa.
understand why they thought it might have been, but she is a person. She
Yeah.
has an account. She pays for said account.
And it's organic, yeah.
And it's organic. Like, you're going to take my song down and remove all my streams because
I know.
of what a fan did?
And then, yeah.
No, No. This is my currency. You have set up this structure so that now I am reliant on you fucking bitches for my livelihood.
Yeah.
P.S. All of my labor that I'm doing is lining your pockets,
Oh,
not
yeah.
mine. And now you're going to take away my ability to make money. And then TikTok banned me for a week for gossiping about Erica Badu's pussy, and I could not go live for a week, which is where I make my money.
Yeah.
Going live, the gifts that I'm now just at, no, sorry, you can't work for a week. I can't pay my rent now because you arbitrarily fucking decided that saying the word pussy is not okay when I actually say it every 4 minutes in my show
Oh, yeah.
anyway for a year and a half.
And they'll turn that stuff. They'll
Right.
turn the well on and off
Oh yeah.
whenever they want
Because
to.
they're manipulating
It's
us.
just whoever they deem is inappropriate, they can just slap that label onto and take stuff away from. And
Yeah.
it's just it's fucking it's really awful.
It's
I think
awful,
about it.
and it's like every creator that I know, particularly the ones that are live streaming on TikTok,
Yeah.
are so burnt out.
Of
Mental
course.
health is not okay because we're not only are we creating art, but the fuckery with like how often you have to post, what you have
Oh,
to
yeah.
post, all the
Ugh.
it's this shit, and it needs
constantly,
to be
yeah.
regulated because there's way too many people on here surviving, making their living off of this.
Yeah.
It needs to be regulated. It's currency. It needs regulation. Period. And I don't care who the fuck I have to sue, but join me.
I think you're right.
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
That's
Cheers to
that's
that.
a good little cheers moment there.
Cheers.
Definitely.
Salud. Glad you're
Salud.
here.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm
this
glad
is
you're
fun.
here too.
Thank
And I think in this weird way, I think that's just them hyper regulating you is them not regulating the big names that do a lot of those things. You know what I mean? Like they'll come after someone like you and say you have a bunch of fake bots or whatever, but not come at Drake because Drake is Drake. You know what I'm saying? Because legally now they have to come out and say that I think they made some sort of law where it's like celebrities or musicians on Spotify now can only earn money if like I think it's less than like 80% of your listeners are bots. You know? So there's a lot of really big name musicians who use bots
Yeah,
through
sure.
record labels.
Yeah.
And they're not selling nearly as much.
No.
But like they're never gonna take a hit, so they just throw the hit to you,
I saw this article today.
even though your shit's real.
in the
It's
New
a
York
shame.
Times, it was like, I'm going to read you from it because I screenshotted it. This creative destruction is only further weakening an industry that already offers little economic incentive to make something new. In the 90s, as the musician and indie label founder Jenny Toomey wrote recently in Fast Company, a band could sell 10,000 copies of an album and bring in about $50,000 in revenue.
Yeah.
10,000
Only
copies.
10,000, yeah.
To earn the same amount in 2024, the band's whole album would need to rack up 1 million streams, roughly enough to put each song amongst Spotify's top 1% of tracks. The music industry's revenues recently hit a new high, with major labels raking in record earnings, while the streaming platform's models mean that the fractions of pennies that trickle through to artists are skewed toward megastars.
And what do you think about like AI and all that stuff that's slowly going to be introduced into all that stuff? Because, I mean, right now, I think you're an anomaly, which is why people like you, especially in the hip hop scene. But if you had AI, you could just make some fake image, throw your voice onto it, throw your raps onto it, and be the next hottest 19-year-old blonde, white
Ooh.
girl rapper,
You could be a gorilla.
you know?
Great idea.
You could be
So-
gorillas.
Yeah, you could be any. Yeah, you
could be
could
the
be
new
gorillas.
Gorillaz.
Yeah, be anything.
I'm interested in AI. I think that I find a lot of inspiration from it, like in the visual imagery, the generative AI I think is interesting. I am concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm concerned for sure. I'm concerned. As a filmmaker, I'm concerned. As an actor, I'm concerned. As a writer, I'm concerned. I think as a tool to like help me write in my own voice, but again, we need heavy regulation. We need heavy protections. And I might be Canadian, but I don't trust your government to handle it.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Do you think like I don't know, like do you think how much like how can I say this? Do you think with how much you can do with it that like authenticity will still exist, you know what I mean? Because now people are making
That me?
I guess
That's
so.
me. Yeah. We're
Yeah.
good. Keep rolling.
But yeah, do you think authenticity can still exist with so many technical aids for you, because of AI now?
Yeah. I do, and I think AI will actually create some interesting things for us. But I do think that people need protection from the heavy duty manipulation that's happening.
Yeah.
I think that the biggest the biggest concern I have about AI is the ability to manipulate us further and more deeply. Like this book Dopamine Nation is so interesting. It's called Dopamine Nation, I think so. But it's about our addiction to dopamine that's coming from our phones. This constant, like, we need a hit every 7 minutes of dopamine, so we pick up our phone looking
than
for
that.
a hit. It might even be worse now. It might even
Yeah.
be shorter.
I know with me it is. It's
Yeah.
fucking terrible.
So it's like we can't fight this. Like,
Yeah.
we can have as much willpower as we want, but at the end of the day, we're fighting a machine that's way stronger and way bigger than we are.
Definitely.
The algorithm of Instagram that I am, like, living my life on right now, and TikTok, is trying to turn me into a bot. It's trying to turn me into a bot to generate. And so at some point, I'm going to break and be like, it's easier for me to do this in AI
Yeah.
than it is for me to just, like, show up and create stuff.